Hi, Gemini. Welcome to December 2021. Happy solar eclipse. We're doing this reading on the solar eclipse. So let's talk about the astrology. I've got all my notes in front of me, so if you see me looking down, that's what I'm doing. Reading, because there's a lot going on. So this is that time when you really have the spotlight focused on your relationships. And so we have the Sun and Mercury and Mars all in Sagittarius. Mercury moves into Capricorn on the 13th. But we also have this solar eclipse in Sagittarius that wrapped up that 1.5-year cycle in your relationship life. And that's partnerships, romantic, business, adult, children, relationships. You probably really learned a lot about yourself, and you probably learned a lot about the people around you during this time. And there's this, you're wrapping up this belief system that you have probably had most of your life, and realized that it just wasn't resonating. It's just not who you are anymore. And the last 1.5 years has really shown that a lot. So this solar eclipse is allowing you to release expectations of relationships. If you're in a relationship and you find that it's ending, I know that kind of stuff is hard, but also you have to know that when things leave us, when things move along, that's just making room. It's making room for so many other good things, which we have so many other good things coming up for you. Venus is also going to be retrograde in your house of deepening relationships. So, and Venus goes retrograde on the 19th. She will be retrograde until January 29th. And Venus will be in Capricorn, in your 8th house in Capricorn until March. And so Venus retrograde is going to be the time where you're going to reassess these deeper bonds with people. The fact that your relationship sector is so highlighted this month for you, this is the biggest opportunity to remove yourself from those people and those relationships that don't really have the best of intentions for you, never really have had the best of intentions for you. You stuck around out of loyalty. You stuck around out of honoring who they are. I don't care if it's a parent. I don't care if it's your best friend of 30 years. If they can't respect, because you're a different person, and if they can't see the boundaries that you're placing, which is another thing, if you're not placing the boundaries, that's something that really has to change. And this Sagittarius eclipse showed that for you, like where your boundaries need to be better. And this Venus retrograde is going to show you where your boundaries have lapsed, right? And anybody that doesn't respect your boundaries, because they're your boundaries, nobody else gets to have a say in what you place up as a boundary. And if the people that can't respect your boundaries, those are not the people that are walking with you on this next part of your journey. And if we as humans could look at relationships as the temporary things that they are, because even a lifelong relationship isn't a forever thing, we all transition at some point, right? So if we were to look at relationships as the things that they are, that they're the time that it was the lesson and it was the beauty and it was the experience and that part, then the moving on and the going on to the next part of the journey would be so much better. But we've been conditioned to believe that relationships are, a part of ownership or propriety, whatever, right? Like it's not something that belongs to us. And this time is really showing that to you in big ways. Jupiter also moves into Pisces on the 28th of December for the second time this year. Jupiter was in Pisces in May until July earlier this year. So you kind of got a taste of what Jupiter in Pisces is going to mean for you. This is happening in your very, very public house of career and just being in the public eye. And this is really, really, really going to boost some things for you because the spotlight is going to be on you. So really could receive some long overdue accolades at work. You could find yourself feeling really, really good about how much you've accomplished recently and how much you're still going to be accomplishing. This is going to be a huge boost in promoting yourself. Like really let Jupiter put that energy of promotion out there for you. Other people's energies they're going to be able to see you. You're going to be, your light is going to be shining so bright during this Jupiter and Pisces transit. And Jupiter is about the expansion of things. And Pisces, it doesn't have a lot of boundaries. They're just mutable water, right? It's very, it's hard to have boundaries around mutable water. So, what you'll need to really pay attention to, and I think that this is going to be a really good relationship lesson thing. Jupiter's going to be in Pisces for a lot of 2022. Venus is going to be in Capricorn until March. So really when it comes to learning about the boundaries that you're going to need during the Jupiter and Pisces transit, this Venus retrograde is going to be huge to teach you those lessons. So pay close attention to what this Venus retrograde is showing you because it's just, I think that it's going to be kind of it's like a cheat sheet. Basically, the Venus retrograde will be like a cheat sheet to show you what kind of boundaries you're going to need with Jupiter and Pisces, because the better boundaries that you have when you find that self-worth with Venus retrograde, the better boundaries you have next year while Jupiter's in Pisces all the way up until May. And then again, from October to December, you'll have all of this amazing opportunities, and you can be super discerning with all of them. So the boundaries and discernment with Jupiter and Pisces is going to be a big thing. So let that Venus retrograde teach you about the boundaries that you need. And it's not going to be easy, but man, you've been doing all the work and you're going to start receiving the gifts. You may even start seeing them now, but it's like, that, how do I want to put this? That the way that you want to do things moving forward is in the most the most authentic kind of way. You don't want to do anything that's not going to, not speak for who you are. That's the next part of your journey. So we have the 10 of Wands, we have the Ace of Pentacles, and we have the 10 of Cups. Talk about an ending and a beginning. So we have 2 cycles ending here, and whatever it is that you wanted to come, you've worked so hard for, that 10 of Wands is like, man, struggling to get up that hill and struggling to get up that hill, but up that hill is that Ace of Pentacles. And it's the 10 of Cups, and it's just waiting for you. And how hard you've worked to get here. And you also know some of the things that need to be cleared out in order for you to get to the top of that hill. You know what these final steps are. And I think you're ready now. I think that you've recognized that you've recognized the end of the road. You've recognized the end of so we have the 10 of Wands, the Ace of Pentacles, the 10 of Cups, bottom row. We have the High Priestess, the Tower, and the Knight of Swords. And see, this is what I'm talking about, Gemini. This knowing that you're the one, you know, you're going to be creating, you're going to be doing the upending. Please try not to argue. I mean, everybody's super angry right now. I understand where the anger is coming from. I do. I understand that people feel like they've been shorted, and a lot of people have been shorted. Those feelings aren't even wrong. I get it. But this Jupiter in Pisces transit has so many blessings for you. So many blessings for you. And yes, you still have some space that you need to clear out in order to make room for all of the blessings that are coming in. But I don't want you to do it and resent the words. I don't want you to resent the way that it's done. I don't want you to resent. So being a little bit more patient, this Knight of Swords frightens me a little bit. I feel like how do I want to put this? The rushing, the desire for the speed part, like the needing to get it, that's what makes the tension happen. And forcing something to fall versus allowing something to fall, that's two different things. The forcing of something, that's just going to be really painful. So watch your words. There could be a Pisces energy that's going on here, or this just could be Jupiter in Pisces, and you already have this intuitive knowing. See, here's the thing. We all have this inner compass inside of us, and we all sort of, growing up, we all sort of have these feelings of who we think we might be when we're older. And the world kind of, some of us have dreams and aspirations, and those are the feelings that we feel inside. And the world always kind of like gives us the opposite of, like, the opposite story, making us think that all of those dreams and stuff can't be a thing, that it's a pipe, you've heard the pipe dream or whatever. And I feel like that's kind of what happened, is the world sort of took away some of the dreams, but you've always had this knowing that there are certain specific roles that you're supposed to be fulfilling in this life, and you're stepping into that. It's something that you're doing now. It's not even a dream anymore. It's not like, I really, someday I'd like to be doing this. You're actually doing the thing that you someday wanted to do, and now you're here. So rushing it and sabotaging it at this point is really not that thing that you want to do. So instead of making this tower happen instead of waiting till the very last minute and then the tower comes crumbling down, try and create the moment in a softer way instead of rushing into it. And we will look at that softer way in the extension. If you would like to get the extension, the full reading, you can get it one of two ways: by becoming a member or going to Vimeo. All of that information is in the description box. I also have 50% off most of the readings on my website. It excludes the Venus retrograde reading and the one question reading. All of that information is also below. That ends on December 12th. So get in if you would like to get a reading with me. And I hope to see you guys in the extended. This is going to be I'm looking forward to seeing, because this gift or this direction that you're headed in, I mean, it's pretty big. If you have to bring the tower, because this is your doing, this tower, and I don't think it's gonna be painful for you, but it's definitely your doing. And if you have to bring the tower, then you're definitely making some space. So we'll see all of that in the extended. I love you guys. Have a wonderful holiday season, and I'll see you next year. Bye.